Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and we continue on today with our full album listening of Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. This is track number 2. Dawn is a Feeling. Track number 1 was Quite the Experience. So it's two things put together, The Day Begins and Morning Glory, the poem, and I put them together in the one reaction, so you can find that if you have not already seen that reaction. It's available on Patreon and for channel members. And so here we are, moving on to track 2. And what is in store for us? I have no idea. Is it going to be more orchestral stuff? Are we going to get some rock and roll on this album? I don't know. I'm kind of okay with any of those options because this is already a really great experience. So, as usual, let's go ahead and dive in. And what are we diving into exactly? As a professional classically trained musician, instrumentalist, vocalist, composer, and professor, we dive in to all the little details concerning composition, instrumentation, music theory, and form analysis, maybe some instrument demos. But of course, how do we relate to this music? Why do we like it? Or why do we not like it? So, no more delay. Let's listen. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll back that up a little bit and get back into there. That little, that was a quick change there. All right, beautiful introduction once again. Started with the clarinet, nice little clarinet solo, heard some flutes, cute little plucking the pizzicato with the strings, and then all the lusciousness of the full orchestra coming in. So, Dawn is a Feeling, huh? I was thinking that the first track was going to be more about dawn, but it was more about like twilight, like the last moments of the night sky, that indigo blue color, and how it transitions into the very, very, very first signs of the sun rays. That true transition, I guess. And so dawn is more about the morning itself. Not everybody would separate those in that manner, but I don't mind it. It's very creative and it makes sense. Honestly, it leaves more room to write music like this. And this is a nod to certain classical music, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So let's back this up, because I want to hear whatever this new section is. It got a little darker. We headed into a minor key, and then, all right, boom, right, here we go.
Dawn is a feeling, a beautiful ceiling, the smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to. You look around you, things they astound you. So breathe in deep, you're not asleep, open your mind. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to. Do you understand?
Okay. So this is going in a direction that I wasn't completely expecting. That's not a bad thing. I'm here for the journey. It sounds like maybe the person waking up this morning is not really looking forward to their day. So far, this journey has been like the mysteriousness of the night, but almost how some people perceive nighttime as unsettling. But then there's a lot of the beauty there of it. And then the beauty of the sunshine and all little animals waking up, But now we have a narrative from a person who is not as happy, maybe not as appreciative of the beauty, maybe worn down, kind of the daily grind. I don't know. There was something there with a moment with the percussion. The drums went boom, 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 like something like that. And it was pretty deep. It was pretty heavy there. So, this is kind of surprising. It's still really enjoyable. And I'm also enjoying the triplet, dum, bum, 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 bum. So we're still feeling it in two, like 1, 2, but it's, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sort of that triple feel. And it's really lending itself to whatever this mood is. All right, let's keep going.
That all over this land there's a feeling in minds far and near, things are becoming clear with a meaning. Now that you're knowing, pleasure starts flowing. It's true, life flies faster than eyes could ever see. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you wanted to.
Well, that was just beautiful. All right, so we had like an ABA section for the form, but within the B section, because it's such a standalone spot, as in, not just a spot, but it's like, I guess, sort of the equivalent of, the rock and roll moment that I was talking about. So yeah, in this track, we did get that. But it's sort of sandwiched between the orchestra, which, hey, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. And I think one reason why I don't mind is because the middle section is substantial. It's kind of hard to beat an orchestral moment, But the actual band rock and roll moment was just really good. I still didn't catch all the lyrics, just something about a day seems like it could be 1,000 years. maybe I should go and check that out right now. Okay. Dawn is a feeling, a beautiful ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you want it to. Okay. So maybe it's not as depressive as I was thinking. But I don't know. The minor key, I don't know. Maybe it's just that, let's see, what did they say about the future? No future fears. I don't know. There seems to be some anxiety there. I don't know. Okay, keep going. You look around you, things they astound you. So breathe in deep. You're not asleep. Open your mind. You're here today, no future fears. This day will last 1,000 years if you want it to. Do you understand that all over this land there's a feeling, in minds far and near, things are becoming clear with a meaning. Now that you're knowing, pleasure starts flowing, its true life flies faster than eyes could ever see. And then the chorus, you're here today, no future fears. About the 1,000 years. Okay. So maybe, yeah, it's not as sad as I was thinking. Musically, that's what I was getting from it. But also, with the orchestra for the sandwich there, it can balance it out quite a bit. If the return of the orchestral section was not a full return and it was actually more sad, that would have been leaning for this to be more sad. But I think it's more wonder, like no future fears, but at the same time, what's to come, because you can't predict the future. So you're just sort of along for the ride. However, your outlook can sort of determine how your day goes. If you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and you're not really in a good mood, your day might not go as well. Whereas if you have a more positive outlook, it can help have a really nice day. So it also maybe implies other awareness, waking up to your surroundings. See, now that you're knowing and the pleasure starts flowing, but it's true that life flies faster than eyes could ever see. So maybe we have this day in front of us and we need to appreciate it so that it doesn't just fly by, because time passes quickly. So yeah, this all makes sense. It is an interesting take, though, to have the main part of the sandwich, the B section, be a little bit more dreary. But that's okay. It might have been too sweet otherwise. So let's return to the beginning, shall we? It was a good beginning. It was simple and sweet at first. I love the opening with the clarinet. And the gestures with the strings first was really sustained, but then was a little lighter. And then we had one of those swells. Like, it could have remained light all the way through, but I was kind of glad to hear one of those emotional swells with those awesome chords in there. And it came back at the end too. So I was like, yay, that's great. So let's just hear it again. So there's the clarinet. Strings come in. Sounds like they're muted. We put a little mute on. We have the flute and the pizzicato. Yeah, these little short gestures. Tremolo, that's the shaking of the bow. The pits. Great. Ah, there we go. Right? That little shimmer of a chord. Okay, but then where are we going? All right, and so then there was a clarinet duet at the end there that sort of brought us downward. Maybe it's just being a little groggy in the morning. For those mornings that maybe we don't just like pop up out of bed and, full of energy, that maybe it takes you a little while to wake up that morning. Maybe it's one of these, but you're still going to work on appreciating the day. I don't know. But let me grab my violin here. So at the beginning, you heard some sustained notes from the strings. And it was really gorgeous, but here's the mute. And I may have discussed this before on some past reactions, but we'll do a little review here. If we take a little mute like this, and they can be made of metal, usually they're plastic or rubber, and we just put it right on top of the bridge. See how it sits up on top of there? Yeah, just like that. And it changes the sound a little bit. So I think maybe the strings might be muted there at the beginning, and that does make sense because they're just trying to sneak in a little bit, and the clarinet has such a smooth tone to it as well. But then I think with the pizzicato that comes later, the mutes come off. Just like that, because it was more prominent there. It's just gorgeous. And honestly, the chord that was so beautiful was actually pretty brief in the intro. But it really was able to blossom at the end. So, but they made us wait, right? Let's just see what it sounds like again. Yeah. Oh, here's the tremolo. Oh, love that chord right there. Okay, oh, it's so good. Okay, and then we're just going to keep going because I want to hear this transition again.
There's a feeling, a beautiful ceiling. The smell of grass just makes you pass into a dream.
Yeah.
You're here today.
So it's funny how it makes you pass into a dream, except that you're trying to wake up. And so, yeah, that was rather abrupt. Big crash. And that last chord, I was thinking they were going to hang on to it for a lot longer, but no. And just crash. Whew. Is that like your alarm going off? I don't know. Or maybe you were having a dream and that's waking up out of the dream. But I liked the piano line, really emphasizing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da, 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 da. I'm really glad that they chose the clarinet to start this, because there are a couple of abrupt moments, like when the B section starts here. And so it's like they're easing us in before that. But then there's something about his voice that sounds kind of like the tone or the timbre of a clarinet. Something really smooth, and clarinets tend not to use a whole lot of vibrato unless it's like Glenn Miller style. Normally it's senza vibrato, which means no vibrato. And he doesn't have much of a vibrato. It's very minimal, and that's fine. That's fine, obviously. But interesting how that really does match. Okay, let's move ahead. There was a neat part just ahead.
So breathe in deep, you're not asleep, open your mind.
Yeah.
You're here today.
Oh, I love these seventh chords.
No
That's great.
future fears.
Back to the minor.
This day will last.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
1,000 years, if you wanted to.
There, that little tumble
Do you
with the drum.
that all over this land there's a feeling far and near.
Is this a different singer?
Becoming clear with a meaning.
Sounds like a different singer. Ooh. Yeah, I like this part too. I remember this. So it gets a little harsher, doesn't it? All right, now we're back to the singer. Let's meet resonance behind his voice. Yeah, that's the chord I like right there. I like how the strings are emphasizing each one of the chords, but it's almost like it's in the back half of each bar. No, is it on the downbeat? Hang on. Oh no, it's right on the downbeat. But it's that lift at the end of each bar.
You're here today.
Yeah.
No future fear.
Yeah, for some reason that's really impressionable. There's just this big pause there, this silence. It's almost deafening. Okay. So within this B section, it's also like ABA, and there's that little part in the middle that sounded like it had a different singer, and it was a lot harsher, more of the piano, and I feel like, that was like the most rock and roll moment that we've heard so far. I think it fits. I think it's just another ingredient in the sandwich. It's great. All right, so let's move to the end, back to where the orchestra part comes back in. Yeah, a nice easy transition. That was a great transition from the minor into the major key. So now we're more sustained. Okay. Now we have English horn. Yeah, so English horn, it's close to what an oboe sounds like, but I'm pretty sure that's an English horn. Every once in a while they sound close enough. It's like, wait, which one? I think that's an English horn. And that actually, like the English horn, tends to be used in extreme moments of emotion, especially like a more somber, sad moment. So if you're watching a TV show or a movie and you hear an English horn, you can expect, yeah, okay, there's something sad happening. So there's the sad, lonely English horn. But it's also, it can be playful. There are times when it's very playful, but it's sort of reserved for more intimate, emotional moments. Like in a symphony, like the whole symphony sort of goes to a standstill, and they like put the spotlight on the English horn and they get to play their beautiful solo. So to me, this does make sense to use the English horn here because we have the melancholy within this piece. But that was an awesome transition, sort of stepwise. And then we go from the minor into the major. It was so easy compared to the abrupt start of the B section. And that's okay. It's great to have that contrast. Let's just keep going and finish it out again. Lovely flutes. More tremolo in the strings. Nice. English horn again. And harp. Good touch there. And the high notes in the strings. And I think I hear some harmonics up there. So, I don't think they had mutes on it then. So we heard the actual violin notes. But I think then also there was a false harmonic, which we have normal harmonics, but like you hear that played with guitars a lot, where they suddenly play a lighter note, but then we have a false harmonic, So it's kind of high and squeaky. It's not really the kind of thing that you want to be playing directly under a microphone like that. But out from the stage to the audience, it translates to a really beautiful ethereal sound. And so we heard that in that last chord. Okay. So the one last thing I want to talk about is what I mentioned with a genre of classical music that this can relate to. So the Impressionist movement in music was alongside the visual art Impressionistic movement as well, where it was about the impression of something. So the artwork or the music they were creating was to give you a distinct impression. And so that could be a visual in your mind, in your memory, or a feeling. And all art and music is supposed to do that. But I particularly enjoy that genre. So we're talking Debussy and Ravel, and they were in Paris, French composers, and they were just really, really great at creating sort of a soft visual in your mind. So it's a solid presence in your being, but it's like those impressionistic paintings where if you stand too close, you can't really make sense of what it is. You got to sort of stand back and see the whole picture. So there's a lot of texture and runs and whooshes and the usage of instruments in a non-traditional up to that point way to really be like the splashes of color on the canvas. And it really does tell a story, or it sets up the background, like the soundscape for the landscape, of whatever you're going to be seeing in your mind. So it really does speak not just your heart, but to your mind's eye. And I really love that. So I just wanted to say that this writing definitely connects with that. And I love it. Okay, so that was track number 2 from Days of Future Past by the Moody Blues. Dawn is a feeling. And yes, it was a feeling. It was a beautiful feeling. Was it happy? Was it sad? Kind of in between. Like there's stuff to look forward to, but we're kind of feeling a little melancholy. So yeah, there was just a touch of melancholy in this piece, and nothing wrong with that. I think it's a great interpretation. I am just really, really enjoying the interpretation of the different times of day, because you could go really straightforward with it, like sunshine in the morning, and then I don't know what would be during the day. Get work done during the day. No, see, I don't know. And then, winding down at night. It could be so obvious, basically, and I don't, predictable. I just don't think that this is going to be that predictable at all. So I can't wait to see what we've got in store next. So thanks for coming along with this listening of this next part of our day. It was a joy, a little bit melancholy, but it was still a joy. So I'll catch you next time for the morning, but it says another morning. All right, that's okay. Lots of different steps to the beginning of this day. The first half of the day. It's very busy. Okay, but I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll see you there. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay and keep listening.